Do this as a test really quick on the stream. Just see if it's coming through on the stream or not. I don't hear anything. Not even music. Me talking on the stream? Here, let me pull it up on my phone since I'm away from the truck. Me talking. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm just...
So I'm assuming you saw they just put 15 on the clock. So Live from Westchester, Ohio, in Firebird Stadium here on the campus of Lakota West High School, we have a non-conference matchup between the West Clermont High School Wolves and the Lakota West Firebirds. I'm Brent Phelan, along with
Dan Zebring.
And we'll be here tonight to call the game for you. So, Dan, both teams started off the season with a loss.
Yes.
What should we expect to see tonight?
Well, this is kind of a rematch of last year's first round of the playoffs too, where West Clermont and West played. And Brent, I don't know that West Clermont. I was talking to the West coaches before the game, and they felt West Clermont's a little better than they were last year, and West certainly handled them in that game. Although I don't remember them wearing those helmets. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that they went to the Michigan helmet. So not only am I a West guy to begin with, I'm really a West guy tonight as they're playing what looks to be a Michigan team across there. But, this is a very senior-laden team. They were ranked number 2 in the city, still are, even after the loss. So they feel like they're still, you're going to see St. X later in the season, and this should be a win. This should go in the W column for West. I mean, everything points to that, their size, their speed. They're senior laden. West is a good football team. So they've got their quarterback who's got a lot of experience in Bowden. You've got a senior running back in Goody that is really their strong go-to, and their defense is probably the strongest part of this team with their core being in that defensive backfield. They got to keep going to Ohio State. And I'm not sure if Alex Afari has committed anywhere yet, but there
Kentucky.
So you got 2 Division I DBs in number 1 and number 2, and looks like both of those guys are back to receive the kick. Or no, it looks like just one of them as number 2 Afari, and then number 13 is back to receive it for West. So we're going to get a look at that offense right off the bat here as West Clermont's going to kick to West, and on the defensive side of the ball, Aiden Miller's a guy, number 23, is a kid you're going to look for. He had 7 solo tackles last week against St. X, so he is definitely the heart of that defense.
So number 29 kicking off tonight for West Clermont.
Very
that
short
is
kickoff.
Manuel Berry, and returned out to about the
34, but they kicked it to about the 30. He only had about a 4-yard return, so almost like a punt.
So here's a replay of that. You're going to see the short kick. You're going to see it caught by number 9. That's Malik Hartford.
Malik Hartford, DB junior.
Had a nice game, 6 tackles last week against St. X. And just as a refresher, last week, huge matchup in the city between number 1 St. X and number 2 Lakota West. Lakota West was winning 14-10 at halftime, and it was all St. X in the second half. They ended up winning that game 31-14. Neither offense was stellar.
Which would you expect early? I'm sure you're going to see that tonight a little bit. As you get a single back, you got Goody in the backfield, Bolden behind center, and shotgun.
So, and you're going to see Mitch Bolden, number 7, quite a bit. Last week, of course, he's thrown the ball, but he also ran the ball 21 times.
Well, they opened up with a slant. Quick little slant right there, number 10, right across the middle was Dwayne Richardson with a nice catch. I mean, they open up, they fake, a little play action. Fake into the left side or right side of the line, and they hit Richardson right across the line. I mean, good throw.
Which is interesting. He didn't have a catch last week. Of the 8 catches that Lakota West had, he didn't have one. So right off the bat, they mixed it up and threw to somebody different. Again, Bolden in the backfield, hands off. I'll tell you one thing you saw there. What great line surge.
Right.
The running back, while he had to bounce a little bit to find a hole, nobody touched him until he's 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. So he's going to get almost, 8.5 yards on that play. Lakota West does a lot of tempo. So they're right back to the line of scrimmage. They call the play from the line of scrimmage. It's signaled in. Again,
they want to get as many plays in as they can, so they move up pretty quick. And there's Goody again off the left side. He's going to get good yardage again as he slipped a little bit, but he's brought down, but not until he gains about 8 yards and first down.
And a first down at the West Clermont 36-yard line. So something they weren't able to establish last week wasn't the running game.
Yeah,
they didn't have a lot of yards.
Bolden's getting the calls in very quickly, Brent. Sorry to interrupt you, but very quickly. I mean, they're lined up and ready to go, which is tough on a defense for making substitutions. I mean, they can't get anybody in because they're and West is not subbing anybody.
No, right to the line of scrimmage each time. They're signaled in. That was Goody again. You saw that, another 7-yard rush. Again, and I just have to point out from the offensive line perspective, they're not, the running back's able to make a couple cuts before he even gets touched. Here Bolden keeps it, fakes that, cuts into the end zone.
Get a touchdown.
So obviously pretty quick. We're a minute 32 into this game, and Lakota West is already on the board.
And there you see Mitch Bolden looking into the, getting a good view of his face as he goes in for the touchdown. I think you're going to see a steady diet of this, and you just see the replay. Good fake inside, and he just tucks it and goes. And then good blocking downfield. And you have, there was I'm not sure who that is, number 30. It looks like that sprung. That was a great block downfield by number 30.
It's Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Gonzalez with a really nice block.
That's sprung. You see right there, 30 with it, staying on number 4, and it's really the one that kind of made that a touchdown. Instead of that being a 15 or 20-yard gain, 30 turns it into a touchdown with a great block downfield.
So Tyler Sparnell on the field to kick the extra point here. You'll see number 7, Bolden, the holder. Snap, up, down, kick up, and good.
And I can't make the same mistake this year because I gave Bolden all the credit last year for the special teams and the kicker, and he said my son's friend gave me a bunch of crap about that, saying Bolden didn't even know the name of the kicker, let alone didn't even do anything. He was the guy. Joe Spadafora is the guy that works with the kicking game, and he's the guy that works on the kicker. So
interesting to note, right? We're a minute 33 into this game. Lakota West had the first pass, which was a nice play.
Right.
Ran the ball the rest of the way. The entire game last week, Lakota West had a net 88 yards.
Wow.
And they already have 45, 50 yards rushing here.
They started at 34-yard line,
and the one pass and the rest rushing. And to be fair, West Clermont is not St. X.
No. You're going to see a lot of – they're going to blow them off the ball. They don't have the size or the speed to match up with Lakota West's offensive line, and their line will be blowing them off the ball. And it was great to come up with a pass and open up with that because that loosens up. You're not going to be able to bring your linebackers and your safeties and your corners up to defend against the run because you got to worry about, obviously, the pass. So that was a great call by Bolden to loosen that defense up and then just pound them inside with, obviously, a superior line.
Good kick into the end zone by Sparnell for the touchback.
So, again, Joe Spadafora teaching that, like I said, Bolden doesn't even know the name of the kicker, apparently.
So, also, we'll just share a little bit. West Clermont last year, they did make the playoffs because everybody made the playoffs. They were 3-5 on the season. They actually missed a couple games. Their coach had very serious COVID complications, so they skipped a couple games. That's why they ended up only 3-5. And the reward was that they got to play Lakota West last year. This year they started out 0-1. They played Hamilton, so a GMC opponent. Got up early. We're actually up 28-15 after one quarter, and lost the game 43-28. Never scored another point. So, a little more offense than we expected. There's just a handoff up the middle, which is what we're going to see a lot of.
Well, I would think so. I mean, if there is a weakness to this defense, it's going to be up front. They graduated most of their kids last year. A very, very solid and very good defensive line last year. So they're all new. And if there's any weakness at all, it's going to be up front. And I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying if there is a weakness in this defense, it's going to be up front.
So number 12, Nolan Lucas, is playing quarterback here for West Clermont again this week. But, again, you're going to see a steady diet of running the ball, which is going to include the quarterback as well as the running back. You'll see some of these guys. You see how they're lined up. They'll come back around, from the flanker or the wing position and be part of the running game as well.
Yeah, they don't throw the ball a lot. There's a lot of just misdirection with this. And, again, they're going to have a hard time. As they did last year, they ran the football a lot last year. They had no ability to throw it. And West pretty much shut that down. West shut just about everybody down last year with that defense they had.
That was Zach Moats with the carry. And last week he was, somebody who carried the ball quite a bit for them. He was 11 carries for 43 yards. And one touchdown last week. So, again, fairly predictable here, right? So now we're looking at
go back in shotgun, so I guess it looks like you're going to pass a little bit here.
3rd and 6 up. It looked like that was a check with me type situation where they went to line of scrimmage.
Wanted to see what the defense was doing, which West is in a little bit of a new 3-3 or 3-5, depending on what you call it, maybe 3-3 stack.
Yeah.
Or they do have outside linebackers up. It looks like a 5-down lineman to me. It almost like a 50 defense to me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? 6 in the back, defensive backfield, or
right.
But again, 3rd and 6.
But they had
so
5
obviously
right there on the offensive line.
Yeah. So 3rd and 6.
2 inside linebackers.
Obviously, you're expecting a pass. If they will pass at all, that's a 5-yard penalty. Makes it even more likely they're going to pass. 3rd and 11 inside their own 20.
And I'll be honest with you, and this looks like a 50 defense to me, Brent. I mean, I was a little surprised when I heard they weren't running that because Coach Bolden ran, the 50 defense at Coleraine, and they've got And it's going to be sacked. Lucas goes down with a sack. So West holds tight, but I'm a little surprised just because they have Gray left, the defensive coordinator, who ran a 4-3, and they came in with the.
Here's a replay. You're going to see number 90, Elijah Davis, from the inside. Pushed his guy straight back and got it. And one of the guys that was the 5 near the line of scrimmage is number 2, Alex Safari, who's a cornerback. But in that formation, he was a little bit tighter, almost on the edge.
And they saw him in trouble and came up and made the play. So
a loss of 3 or 4 yards on that makes it 4th and 15. And West Clermont's lining up to punt the ball here pretty quickly.
Elijah Davis just bull rushed in there, just pushed his guy straight back.
So Jair Brown, also known as Hollywood, the Ohio State commit, runs forward to catch that ball. We see flags flying, a lot of laundry on the field this time. Jair, obviously not a great punt, pretty good rush, bad snap. Punter did get it away, got it out to about the 45-yard line. Jair kind of juked and jived a little bit there and was able to get 5 yards, but I suspect that we're going to find a penalty here on Lakota West that's going to push us back a little bit further.
I'm guessing a holding call. I haven't seen anything yet. They haven't shown anything, but yeah, they're pointing back towards West. Again, did you see the call?
Yeah, so what's going to happen, we're going to have a penalty there. It's still going to be Lakota West first down.
See Brown get away. Oh, looks almost got him on the face mask there.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have that be about a 10-yard penalty, which is going to give Lakota West 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. So obviously a nice stop from the defense, led by the kickoff into the end zone, starting at the 20, punted from their 15. So pretty impressive 3 plays on defense, allowing the offense have a couple minutes of rest and right back here with great field position.
That was very good punt coverage by West Clermont. I mean, Brown didn't get very far, but with the penalty, backs West up and giving the ball to Goody's got the ball.
I'm afraid we may get a hold, and there it is pretty quickly, a hold from behind the play there on the edge.
Okay. You see that? I didn't see the hold.
Yeah, so we're going to have a 1st and 20.
Offensive lineman or a blocking back?
I couldn't quite catch the number. It may have been number 30. I hate to say Mr. Gonzalez, but we'll take a quick look here. But see if we see 30 coming on the outside right there. 22 started to get around him. You see his hands on both sides.
Yeah, he's got that arm hook.
And anytime you get your hands on both sides of the player.
And that's right where the flag was. So that was Gonzalez. Yep. So Gonzalez got, he's got a touchdown block and he's got a hold.
So 1st and 20 from inside their 40. So we'll see what Lakota West does here. Obviously, they did have the one pass to start the game out, but you would expect Lakota West to have a lot of running.
Pull him back in the shotgun.
He ran 21 times, and he threw 21 times last game.
Oh, wow. He was wide open. I don't think he saw the ball. They never made an adjustment to it.
So that's Dwayne Richardson. Number 10 was open downfield. Ball fluttered on the quarterback a little bit there.
Right, but he never made the adjustment. I don't know if he ever picked up the ball, but he never slowed down, never stopped. The ball came up 5-10 yards short of the receiver. Bolden was just a little bit short on that, but the receiver never made an adjustment.
I would suspect we might go back to that play later because we actually had 2 receivers running wide open. One defensive back there kind of running between them, not sure who to go for. So 2nd and 20 for Lakota West from their own 39-yard line here with 7:40 to go.
I would imagine West will go back to the run. They were so effective with it. And there you go. Goody can be off the left side. And
it runs through a tackle. Gains about 5 yards, which looks like they're going to mark him forward about 4 yards.
Looks like Deshaun Benson came up, and senior from West Clermont, defensive back, came up and make the stop. But
so we're going to see that everything just influenced.
Good job running through it. I mean, this is why you can't jersey tackle somebody as strong as Goody as he just keeps going.
And it looked like it was a little challenging to get to the edge there. West Clermont got some good penetration and made him kind of loop into the backfield.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. They ran the ball so well up the middle. I mean, I don't know if they just thought that maybe West Clermont made some adjustments to that. So gone away with it, but they haven't really run the ball up the middle yet. 3rd
and 15 from their own side of the field at around the 44-yard line. Mitch Bolden back to throw. He scrambles to the right. He may run this one.
Oh, yeah.
If he can get a good block there from Goody, which he did, and it's a
first down.
First down without an issue there. You can see that pretty early. While it would appear to be a pass, there weren't a lot of receivers downfield.
No.
Clearly, it's an RPO type.
He gets outside. I mean, the fake holds the linebackers and everybody else, so he's able to get outside. Well, he doesn't fake it. He just gets out, sprint out. He's able to get outside, contain, and there's nobody to contain him. And there he goes. That's why you cannot allow a quarterback to break contain.
One nice block there from Goody, and that obviously allowed him to have a pretty good play. So 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line.
And Mitch ran the ball a lot last week. He ran the ball 21 times,
Yeah,
so he is
ran 21 and threw 21. So clearly he was the key.
50-50.
42 of the plays there.
Mr. 50-50.
So we're going to hand off the other direction a little bit, for the other running back here. See what kind of gain we got there from number 30. That's Gonzalez.
So rewarding him for the touchdown block by
yeah.
giving him the ball, and he picks up a good 9 yards.
So a nice run around to the right side again. I don't know if they've found something to the right. That's a couple plays in a row that they've had a lot of success at getting to the edge on the right side of the offense.
Well, whoever that linebacker is out there on that left side of the defense allowed them to break contain. And once you get a quarterback running out there free, you're in trouble.
So here's Good going back the other way.
Goody's going to score. Touchdown West is Gumbo. Cameron Goody goes off the left side and basically untouched. That offensive line just tearing him up.
Yeah, he's a 5'10", 215-pound senior. Here you go. You'll see Gonzalez, good block in the middle there on 26. And really, as you said, that 26 might have got a hand on him, but it was being blocked at the time.
But if you saw it, Tegra Shabola, the left tackle, made a great block and just turned that guy outside and manhandled him all the way out. Shabola, the Ohio State commit, doing a good job there, and just the kid doesn't have a chance. I mean, Tegra is just too good for him, and hit him and just drove him off the ball.
So it looks like we have a different kicker this time for Lakota West.
35.
Against 35, Tyler Bond with a good kick. So 14-0 with 6:11 to go here in the first quarter. Lakota West 14 and West Clermont Wolves 0.
I wonder why they wanted to change on that.
So, yeah, not sure.
Not sure if the kickoff kid got hurt or something, but it didn't lose anything. But the kid just drilled through there. Looks like a good kicker.
And the other thing, remember that the kicker, Tyler Sparnell, also plays defensive back. So, there's always a possibility there. Something might have come up.
He got hurt.
I do see it looks like we have the pop-up tents up. Don't know who's in there, but it looks like we might have somebody being looked at from that perspective.
You just generally don't see a kicker change.
Now it looks like Tyler Sparnell's back to kick off again. So, who knows? Maybe it was just give somebody an opportunity there.
Yeah, Tyler's only junior, so maybe they are giving him some game action.
So
Dan, he'll be here next year.
I mean, kind of what we expected, right? I mean, we felt, especially based upon last week, I think Lakota West was pretty down.
Yes.
Didn't especially leading at halftime.
And I got to tell you something. I got to feel bad here for West Clermont because I think Bolden's going to make a statement. And this might be a 50-point game. I mean, he's going to try and put as many points out there to show that, last week was kind of an off score. They didn't play very well, and they're going to want to play a little better this week. And West Clermont's going to maybe pay the price.
Kick down to about the 2-yard line. 21, Josh Fusell with the tackle. Not much there again. I mean, tackled well inside the 20-yard line.
That was a great coverage down there. I mean, he was the contained guy. He kept in his lane. Guy tried to break outside, and Fusell made a great play as he goes to his,
So we'll see that again. There's the kickoff to about the 2-yard line. You're going to see a lot of red shirts there.
You see the discipline of Lakota West staying in their lanes, and there's not much you can do when you do that. So that's good coaching, and they did a good job with that.
So what do you think? Is there something West Clermont can do here? Nolan Lucas again, number 12 at quarterback. I mean, that's what they do. They tend to run the ball. Going to be hard to run the ball.
It's going to be real hard to throw the ball. It's going to be real hard to throw the ball with the corners that West has.
And we're going to get a false start right away on West Clermont. West Clermont was trying to shift, and a couple of the guys, I think, thought that was the snap. So, again, back to their own 11-yard line or 10-yard line, 10. first and 15. Not what you want to do when you're trying to run the ball.
Yeah, and you want to hold on to the ball here. I mean, you got to give your defense a little bit of a rest. I mean, West has manhandled that defense. So you want to give them a little bit of a rest and hold on to the ball, but you want to get a couple first downs here.
So what's interesting, again, though, with no receiver out wide, number 2, Alex Afari, the defensive back, is on the edge.
Yes.
So your edge guy who's actually coming, boy, perfect.
And he made the tackle.
Made the tackle, but it's kind of interesting. Now, in fairness, Alex Afari as a cornerback is 6'3", 200 pounds.
Right.
So
he's not small.
He's able to mix it up without a problem there on the edge, and against certainly against a team like West Clermont.
Yes.
So good there. No gain on the play.
Look, that was Woodbridge on the tackle, and he got no gain. And you're right, Afari came down, just lined out almost as outside linebacker, and came down the line and made the play on a dive play. You don't see a corner making the dive play tackle too often.
And a lot of it's formational. You look at this. I mean, West Clermont within 10 yards side to side has the entire 11 people. Bad snap up the middle. I think it hit off somebody. Still bounced back. this is kind of an interesting one. It was around the line of scrimmage, bouncing around, kicked
Quarterback
back
Lucas
to the
came up with it,
quarterback,
yeah.
like 4 yards back.
And luckily he was there.
Yeah, so
Otherwise, West has the ball on the 4 or 5 yard line.
So you're going to see the snap is going to happen here in the middle. Hits, it gets knocked down as they go up to try to get it. It gets kicked
right back to Lucas.
So there you are, 3rd and 20 from their own 5 yard line.
Not a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 20.
So it'll be interesting to see if what Lakota West does. I mean, you've got Kofi Bobby there in the middle. You got Alex Safari still playing that in. You got Brian Henderson, 99, out there. We talked earlier about Elijah Davis, number 90, made a nice play. 13, Ben Minnick is on the corner and just wow. Yeah, they just tried
that. That was Safari again coming down crashing. They've got Safari coming in and just making big plays. That was another loss. So you're 4th and 20.
More than 20 now. With that loss, they're going to mark him back another 3 yards.
They're inside the 5 yard line punting again, which is a tough punt anyway because you don't have the full 13 yards. He's backed up against the back line.
And Jair Brown, number 1 for Lakota West, is standing on his own 30-yard line.
Yes.
So you would like to think that Lakota West, even if they get the punt off, is well positioned for.
And if the punter here, number 22, takes 1 step backward, 1 inch, he's going to be in step on the end line for safeties. That's
so good.
Landon, he gets it out.
Yeah, good, solid snap, solid kick. There's Jair Brown, and you can't coach.
No.
Yeah, right. The athleticism. I mean, this is a 4-star recruit who's committed to Ohio State.
And the punter just took an out-of-bounds shot at him. He was 10 yards out of bounds. He hits him.
This kind of shoved him. But, you saw that. The ball was way on the other side of the field. Coverage guys were down there. He saw it bouncing around. He picks it up and still advances it. And, of course, now with the personal foul, it's going to be.
Half the distance. It'll be 1st and goal with the 5.
Yeah, it looks like about maybe the 7-yard line is where they're going to spot this one.
Insult to injury, but, 22 hit him. He was 10 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it was just frustration, right?
Yes.
You have a kick. You think maybe you'll have some success here because it's way away from the return guy. You'll see it there. It hits at the 26. So
the punt is a net 3 yards.
Again, not what you're looking for.
22, the punter just comes and gives him a shove there, and that's the penalty.
So you see 72 Tony Curtis, 73 Lathan McComas, both out there on offense for Lakota West on the line on this side. Of course, we've got Tegra Shabola on the other side. There's bounce.
Good bounce, and he's just going to put his head down and run in.
Yeah, no pun intended, but
so
good pass.
Gumbo making some soup there. He's bouncing outside, nothing inside. He bounces outside and just runs over the defenders for another touchdown. Goody's 2nd of the night. Cameron comes in, gets the 2nd touchdown, and West are in business.
We're going to see that again. You're going to see, he
nothing there. He follows blockers, nothing there. So he bounces outside, breaks that contain. West Clermont's going to have to talk to that contain guy.
2 guys I'll mention there. We saw number 33, Anderson Simpson, from the tight end position, was crashing down, gave him a little bit of edge on the right side. And number 10, the wide receiver, Dwayne Richardson, with a nice block downfield.
And there's a good shot of Goody getting some congratulations from his coaching staff and the other players. And I'm not sure who kicked that one. They get another one?
Yeah, it looks like somebody different. Is that 49, I believe? Is that our kicker this time? That's Hannah Duncan.
That's the girl.
That is. She certainly is.
And she just made it.
Hannah Duncan with with a successful extra point. She's a 5'7", 130-pound senior.
So 3 extra points and 3 kickers. But Hannah Duncan comes in, which that's got to be the first extra point made by a female. As you see her there, number 49, you see the ponytail. I'm pretty sure that's the first extra point first point ever scored by a female on Lakota West history. So there you go. On tonight, August, whatever it is, you've got history being made, and I'm guessing it goes back through Lakota too. I don't remember any girls kicking or playing for Lakota, so that might be the first female score in Lakota history.
Well, congratulations to her.
Yes.
And again, with 3:37 to go here in the first quarter, Lakota West 21, West Clermont 0. Now, it's interesting, right? West Clermont had 28 points in the first quarter last week, and then didn't score again.
Right.
That not scoring again has continued so far in this quarter. And on the other side, Hamilton put a lot of points on the board in the second through fourth
so
quarters.
far, West has scored 21 points in the first quarter. There's still 3 minutes and 37 seconds left. So West Clermont has been able to do nothing with the football with it, and they're going to try and return a kick here. And Lakota West continue.
Good run.
Good run.
Yeah, nice run there. Knocked out of bounds at around the 34-yard line.
So they'll have their best starting position. Clermont, a little happy about that. You see the guys jumping around down there, so they got something to get excited about. Maybe momentum will change for them.
Yeah, we're going to see that's Cameron Sleet, number 4. Nice run. Was able to get around the outside here. You see a couple.
West missed a tackle there. 14 missed a tackle and let him get outside. And that's the thing. You can't let him get outside. The problem was he stayed in his lane, had a shot, missed the tackle, but worse than that, he didn't turn him inside to where everybody else was. He let him get outside, and that's how come he got so many yards.
So biggest play so far for West Clermont allows them to start 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Is a kick return.
They were short a player. They got the 11th guy back onto the field, so we'll see what happens here. Another bad snap or fumbled snap. I don't want to pick on the center. Could have been the quarterback pulling out a little bit early. Although he 77 and 12, the center and quarterback seem to be having a little bit of a conversation about that. So not sure exactly what happened there, but what it does result in is 2nd and 12. And once again, not at all what they're looking for. That's Matt Botts, number 77, the center. And again, number 12, Nolan Lucas is the quarterback. Unsuccessful with that, so we'll see what happens here with 2nd down. False start on the right side.
Nothing's going well for him, is there?
Boy, I guess based on tonight's weather, when it rains, it pours. I mean, just everything that you don't want to have happen when you're probably a little bit or a lot bit overmatched.
They were trying to get the ball to a sophomore.
You don't want to put
Bryson early, and he had the ball, but unfortunately they jumped a little bit too much. So now they're 2nd and from the 30, and second and 15.
2nd and 17 here, and what you don't want, right? You put the ball on the field, you have some penalties, just the things you can't afford to do when you're
getting beat 21-0.
Yeah, and when you're unmatched. Interesting here. It's offside, so we're going to have a penalty.
It's offside on West, so he gets the 5 back.
I think it's Alex Safari, number 2. Was on the edge again there, and I think he just kind of bounced a little bit on the snap and took a step or so, or a foot forward into the neutral zone.
And they'll call it right then.
So they'll get that 5 back, which puts us back to 2nd and 12. Right where we were. So we'll see what happens here, see if West Clermont can have something. Obviously, Coach Bolden not very happy with that play, but gosh, it's 21-0 here with 2:28 to go.
Oh, wow, nice pass.
Nice throw and catch there across the middle a little bit. I think that was number 23 who made that catch for them, and that is Riley Woodbridge. We saw him run the ball a couple times for nothing. Right?
Sophomore, Riley Woodbridge. But that was a great play. They ran the exact same action. As you see it, 2 goes in motion, they fake it to him. And then West has everybody, as we talked about, everybody's up on the offensive line.
That's number 9 safety Malik Hartford with the tackle.
And thank God he was there to make that play because everybody else from West was beat.
So 1st and 10 at the Lakota West 42-yard line. Some success there. We'll see what happens. They run the ball right up the middle.
To Moats.
A little bit. 3. And boy, they had more negative running plays or 0 running plays or stuffs, right? Anytime you get less than 2 yards or less,
right,
a stuff, because it means you're off cycle. You did, for trying to advance to a 1st down. So even that 3.5 yard gain is actually better.
Onside, you're good. You get another 3.5, got a short 3rd down.
It gives you some offensive options to try to have some success. We'll see Woodbridge in motion to the right. They hand back to him and just nothing there.
Nothing there.
Went
to the well a little too much there.
And boy, I tell you, that play took a long time to develop. And when you're outsized like West Clermont is by the Lakota West team, it's hard to hold a block that long.
So you feel like right now the only thing that West Clermont can do is we'll play action and hit the pass. I mean, that seems like the best thing that's happened because you got a Fari and everybody crowding the line of scrimmage. So maybe you'll be able to throw the football a little bit. But you can't wait till 3rd down to throw.
Probably 4 down territory there, right?
You have to.
40-yard line Lakota West, if you can get a little bit here. They tried to do Woodbridge again. Now, unfortunately, I think sometimes you try to run that play, get 3 or 4, and then gives you an in-between again on 4th down if you know you're going to go for it. Challenge here, he comes all the way around to the left side, and nothing. There's Brian Henderson, 99.
Well, you see Afari, too, come upfield and just shut down. They can't get wide. I mean, Afari's doing such a good job of contain and not letting anybody get outside.
So they're going to go for it here, 4th and 11 inside Lakota West territory, of course. No surprise here with 19 seconds to go in the 1st quarter, down 21-0. Obviously you would assume they're going to try to throw the ball here. They haven't shown much ability to run. It looks like they're going to try to run a screen.
Little middle screen to
and
Woodbridge,
it's
and man,
just nothing.
that was snuffed out the whole way.
That's Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller, 23 with the tackle. Aiden was the leading tackler last week.
With 7 tackles.
Yeah, he had 7 solos and 3 assists, so 10 total tackles in today's counts. Actually,
he sniffed that out.
He
sniffed that out like he knew it was. He looked like he was in the huddle.
You can just watch this defensive line. Once they see that snap, you can see him stop start stepping back.
They see it's a screen. They're well coached, obviously.
And 74 there for West Clermont was trying to get back to block somebody. He had 3 guys to block.
Yep.
So even if Aiden Miller didn't make the play, there were a couple more Lakota West players right there. Certainly we're going to keep him from getting 11 yards. The result of that is Lakota West takes over here with 5 seconds to go, so they'll have a play here before the end of the first quarter.
I like the thought from West Clermont trying to run screen, trying to throw the football. They may end up, we get a little out, and Bolden breaks the tackle. Bolden breaks the tackle and gets out. He's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, does a nice job getting past midfield, out of bounds here as we end the first quarter from Firebirds Stadium with Lakota West leading 21-0. So, Dan, back at Firebird Stadium here at Lakota West, where Lakota West had a good first quarter, up 21-0 on West Clermont. Actually have the ball inside West Clermont territory again as we'll start the second quarter. Anything surprise you in the first quarter?
Not really. I mean, I'm not sure what to say there, Brent. I'd love to say it, but I've expected Lakota West to dominate this game, and they are. I mean, West Clermont having trouble moving the football. Their best play has been a kickoff return. And they did have the one long pass down the middle off the play action, which is probably their only hope to do anything. I mean, if I'm calling plays for them, I'm doing a lot of play action and throwing the football and taking my chances, although that's not a great thing to do either when you have to deal with the likes of Jair Brown and Alex Safari back there and the safety. So, I mean, Lakota West's strength is your defensive backfield.
So, coming back to start the second quarter with Lakota West 2nd and 5. From the West Clermont 48-yard line. We still see Bolden in the back handing, lost the ball. Was going to try to pick it up, and it does pick it up, but it's tackled right there. And, it was he had the option. He faked the handoff to Goody. But somewhere in there, I don't know if between he and Goody,
I'm trying to see what he was reading there, why he didn't give the ball to Goody, because Goody was going to get some good yardage. Did you see?
And you know what? He actually got it back control of. 33 made the nice defensive play.
He did, because he looked like he was coming down on the running back, so he pulled the ball out, and then 33 made a nice play.
Yeah, that's Lance West. 33 actually poked the ball loose. Bolden tried to pick it up and still make something happen.
But he did a good job making it look like he was going to take the back. And so Bolden pulls it back out after making that read, and then he jumps out, makes the tackle, and causes a fumble. So that was a great play by the Clermont player.
So here we go, 3rd and 9, back in their own territory. Bolden steps back to pass, plenty of time. Threw the ball a little bit high. Ben Minnick, number 13, was unable to pull that down. They had a little bit of that last week.
Do you go for it here?
No. 21-9. You just punt it and play defense. You've played defense all game. But, there's the thing that they ran into a little bit last week.
I mean, your defense has not allowed them to do anything.
And Ben Minnick is going to go back and punt this. You could say, Minnick should catch that ball, but it wasn't thrown very well.
No, it was a little
that's
high.
not where you want it, right? You're downfield in the middle of the field, and somebody's got you where you got to extend the ribs and everything else. If that ball is even 6 inches lower, he keeps his feet on the ground, makes a catch, turns upfield.
And gets first down.
So, it not terribly far off, but it just wasn't where you want it. Good high kick.
Angling it out of bounds.
Went out of bounds a little bit more quickly than I think Lakota West was hoping for from Minnick.
Yeah, they only ended up picking up about net.
They're still coming back. Wow, that went out of bounds a lot.
Wow, they didn't get the first down on the punt.
So that will be 1st and 10 for West Clermont from their own 44-yard line. So, wow, good series defensively for West Clermont. First time we've been able to say that, right? Lakota West 3 possessions, 3 scores.
And you came off the fumble. I mean, that they had a pretty good pickup on first down with Bolden running the ball and getting 5 yards, but then they dropped the ball and they fumbled the ball, and a great play by the West Clermont player. And then, you're there. I mean, there's nothing you can do. They have an incomplete pass, and now you're punting it, and you don't get a good punt off, and West Clermont's in business.
So here we go. They're just going to run the ball to the left side there, gained about 2, maybe 3 yards.
That's Moats.
Yeah, that's 28 Moats, which, that's a lot of what they did last week. He ran the ball, was their leading, or ran the ball, I guess maybe the second most. No, he was 11.
No, he was, yeah.
He was the leading rusher at 11, and second leading rusher was 10 carries. They had some good balance, right? They had 11, 10, and 9 from their top 3 carriers last week.
30 carries out of 3 players, so
and
a lot of balance.
So we'll see what we can get here now. Marcus Johnson last week, number 31, actually had 9 carries for 163 yards.
Yet touched
Haven't
the
seen
ball.
him. Here comes Henderson chasing him out.
Davis gets him out or forces him out.
So 99, Brian Henderson forced him to the left, and then number 90, I think,
Davis forces him out the rest of the way.
So a small gain again, or 3rd and 7, maybe 3rd and 6 here, still inside their own territory. We'll see a replay here. Went back to pass and pretty quickly realized nothing there. Some good pressure from Lakota West and some good contain. There you can see number 1 Jair Brown and number 3 Tyler Sparnell from the defensive backfield, or the linebacker. There's nowhere to go anyway.
Nowhere to go. They dropped back, made great pass coverage, and then came up, made the play.
Looks like West Clermont's going to have to take a timeout. Some confusion out there on the play call. So with 10:19 to go here in the second quarter, West Clermont 3rd and 7, coming off that good defensive play. I mean, I think they're optimistic. They want to make something happen here. If they want to even have a chance to get back in this game, they need to be able to figure out how to make something happen.
West is just so dominant. What do you do? It's tough to make play calls when your offensive line really can't hold the defense or block them. Your running backs are slower and littler than DBs and linebackers. I mean, when you have what would you say Afari was? 6 foot?
6'3". He's like 6'2", 6'3", and 200 pounds.
Yeah, and that's your corner. I'm not sure how many 200-pound offensive linemen they have.
Yeah, they got a couple big guys there, but yeah, definitely not with that level of athleticism.
No.
That's for darn sure. So we're going to see what they do. So they had success the one time, right? They had a receiver go deep on the right side and then brought the wing back across the middle for that successful pass play.
But they're not where they got Brown just playing press coverage, so there's nowhere to go.
So
they got wide open out of the backfield.
Wow. Just couldn't get the throw there, got enough pressure. So a wheel route, as they used to call it.
Yep, and that was open.
Ran all the receivers to the right side.
They faked the Moats, and he goes out on the wheel route. There he goes.
But Brian Henderson, 99, just put him on his back. Obviously, if he had maybe another half a step to step up, he has
almost
a chance
caught
there.
the ball. Almost caught the ball.
Pretty good throw. I mean, it actually got to his hands there, even though he was the quarterback was on his back.
Moats lost his feet and, still almost came up with it, hit him in the chest. So it was a pretty good throw considering the pressure that was being put on him.
And the challenge there for Moats is he's going that wheel route. He's running wide open downfield. He certainly doesn't want to stop. And when he tried to stop with a little bit of wet turf, he couldn't get there. And the quarterback obviously was trying to throw a little further, but he couldn't. So here we go.
If he catches that, there was nobody over there. He might have gone for 40, 50 yards.
So we got a penalty here on 4th and 6 for West Clermont. See what we've got. See what's happening here. Was it a substitution infraction?
Couldn't know, but if it's against West, it's going to be awful close to a first down. If you're West Clermont, you go for it because you got nothing else going for you. Now it looks like it was against.
It looks like it was. So are we assuming it was a no? No, there we go.
No,
they are marking it off now. I think perhaps I saw a substitution infraction. Looked like that might have been what was signaled. Never saw it signaled from the
field.
From the field, but they're telling us it was probably a false start. So 4th and 11.
Boy, things aren't going well when you have a false start on the punt.
A lot of pressure there.
Well, he bobbled the ball.
So regardless of anything, since no possession, it's Lakota West ball.
Right.
Nobody ever took possession, and they did recover it. It looks like Lakota West.
Yes.
Obviously, there was a couple guys there hoping to scoop and score. So we'll see
that
again.
Miller, they're all patting him. So Miller, but wow.
So you see number 9, Malik Hartford from the left side, and Aiden.
Safety comes up. Yeah, it looks like
another guy, and then Aiden Miller tried to pick it up, got hit. West Clermont guy there tried to pick it up. He got hit. And it looks like, I can't tell.
Number 8.
If number 8, Isaiah Jones, who was also one of the leading tacklers last week, might have ended up with the possession there. Again, it didn't matter who actually got the possession. It was going to be a first down for Lakota West in West Clermont territory. So at the 42-yard line, they're just going to go back to normal. Wow.
Goody with
Look at that hole.
Push on the offensive line.
I mean, as a running back, can you imagine that? I mean,
there's nobody there until they're 5-10 yards down the field. I mean, the wall The offensive line is just playing so well right now. They're just pushing the front 7 off the ball.
And they were not able to, and again, I understand St. X versus West Clermont difference, but they didn't have any success like that last week. So certainly Coach Bolden, the offensive line coach, probably are pretty happy about that. Good run to the left side into the end zone.
Goody for his 3rd touchdown. Gumbo comes up with his 3rd touchdown of the night. Goody just comes off the left side, went right for about 20 yards, and he comes back for scoring on touchdown from about the 20-yard
so
line.
We're going to see a replay there. I saw 52, who's, let's see, we'll get
look at the offensive line blowing people off the ball, though. I mean, it's just crazy.
Let's get a better look here. Now, nice cut up there, squared up. Number 4 ran through the tackle of 4 and 25 into the end zone. So a nice effort by Goody here once he got the ball inside the, to the 10-yard line, right? There you go. You see him. And he squared the shoulders.
And then just ran through people and over people.
And ran over people right there. Yeah, number 26, my son Sanders, not very effective. So there we go again. Another
Do we have a 4th kicker?
Successful kick. See who kicked out. I think it's number 35 again. That's Tyler Bond, who we've already seen.
So, yeah, 2.
So the left-footed junior with the successful PAT. And here we are with 9:31 to go in the second quarter. It's 28-0. The Lakota West Firebirds lead the West Clermont Wolves. Well, Dan, it's nice to see, and like I said, I understand that we're not talking about the same defense they played last time, but I'm sure Coach Bolden and Coach Dan Bolden with the offensive line side are pretty happy to see that we're putting, helmet on helmet. They're getting space. They're getting surge, allowing the running backs to get squared up, get downfield before they have to make any cuts.
This is easy football for Bolden to call plays, and I mean, you're just dominating up front. Everything you call works. I mean, there's not, West Clermont has been unable to stop anything. The only thing that really stops West is they've had a couple miscues, a fumble, and some of that's pushed them back a little bit, or some drop passes or whatever, bad throws. But other than that, West Clermont's been completely unable to stop Lakota West, and they're taking advantage of it. So if you're West, man, it's awesome.
So here's Tyler Sparnell with the kick again. The senior kicks it a little bit higher, still inside the 10-yard line, about the 8. Another nice return. Same guy again, number 4 there for West Clermont. That's Cameron Sleet.
Their best weapon so far.
Two of their best 3 plays of the half.
The problem is their kickoff returns after touchdowns. So it's their best play, but unfortunately they're giving up 7 points before they get to it.
We're going to look at it. So you're going to see him come up field, draw the defender in 21, and then kick back out. That's Josh Fusel, one of the defensive backs there. Malik Hartford, another defensive back. Interesting. A couple of the starting defensive backs also on coverage, kick coverage here. But a nice job, right? I think.
But that is one of Tom's trademarks. Even when he's at Coleraine, their special teams are always good, and I don't think he has any trouble putting the starter in there to make sure it's a good team. I mean, a lot of people put sophomores and non-starters in there and juniors, but they make mistakes.
What's interesting is, even your kicker is a starting linebacker.
Right.
So tried to throw the ball underneath there, and unsuccessfully. There's Ben Minnick with the defensive play there. Now, what is interesting, Lakota West has a lot of players who are playing on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
We've seen Afari, we've seen Jair Brown, we've seen Minnick. Just 3 right there that we've seen.
They play offense also.
Yeah,
although they are playing wide receivers, it's not like they're playing D-line and O-line. They're playing a little bit where you get a little bit of break or not. It's not as violent out there, so you can send those kids out there to catch a pass or two. It's not the same thing as playing center and nose man.
So there they are. Just tried to run the ball to the left side up the middle, and a gain of maybe a yard or 2. So
West D-line just outplaying them. They can't move them off the ball.
There's just nothing there. I mean, it's really Lakota West right now fighting to see who gets the tackle.
Yes. And you're right. They do have some big kids. 77 for them. Matt Bolts is a senior, good-sized kid. They don't have his weight here, but he's a good-sized kid.
So 3rd and 9 for West Clermont here with 8:49 to go in the second quarter. They're lining up at their own 35 or 36-yard line by benefit of a nice kick return by Sleet. So here we go again. The quarterback back to pass, under pressure right away. Does a nice job of avoiding the initial pressure. Thought he had something, and then there's big number 90.
Elijah Davis.
He saw him coming and he went down. Right?
Wouldn't you? Look at the size.
Look at this. He saw.
I'm going down. Yeah.
Ducked and turned his head.
Yeah, I'm not going to get killed.
And we understand that. So it'll be 4th and 9. I guess he probably doesn't get credit for a sack there because it was a no gain. But again, there's been a lot of what they used to call stuffs. Anytime you keep that team to 2 or less.
And West Clermont's in a position, Brent, where they can't even go for it. I mean, they're on, it's 4th and long. I mean, they're doing absolutely nothing with the football. They're getting 2 yards, and it's up 4th and 8, and you can't do that this far back, and you're down 28. I mean, you'd like to see where you get to a 4th and 1 or 2 and at least go for it.
So Jair Brown back at his own 35-yard line. See what happens here. He definitely some excitement, some pretty good pressure. Nice kick, fair catch, fumbled.
Oh, he fumbled it.
And still loose on the ground, still fighting for it in his West Clermont.
Came up with it, 25.
So that'll be a first down for West Clermont. We call it a fumble.
Caleb Stepp came up, a junior for West, came up with the football.
Technically, that's ruled a muff, which they couldn't have advanced it anyway. No. So the fact that they were trying to pick it up and run is
so far the special teams for West Clermont's the best thing they've had.
So we're going to see this. You're going to see,
It almost gets blocked again, though. I mean, he's barely getting that off.
Yeah, I mean, but a good high kick, and
that was a great kick.
You see Jair trying to get over there to make something happen again instead of just securing it. But he had caught a fair catch, so all he was trying to do was catch the ball.
And he started falling backwards.
Yeah, got the ball hit him on the edge of the fingers, and
he just misjudged that.
Credit for West Clermont. They haven't given up, down 28-0 here with 7:28 to go. They're 1st and 10 on Lakota West
23-yard line.
Then it's just a quick handoff straight up the middle to 28.
Here's the entire offensive line.
So Brian Henderson with a play there. It will be 2nd and 10 from the 25. I don't think that's the play that West Clermont's going to have much success in.
No.
They've tried that several times, the quick handoff and fake the quarterback or fake to the wing back afterwards. But
6'1", 280-pound lineman there just stopping everything in Henderson.
So, and what they're doing with their formations is Lakota West, look how tight their defense is.
Yeah, everybody's within 7 yards of the ball.
Oh, a little counter reverse, back the inside reverse they used to call that. Mm-hmm. Tried to have number 2 do something with it, but just, that's Bryson Early. Unfortunately, actually lost about 1.5 yards. Just nothing there, right? I mean,
no.
And the problem is you tried to do that to make some misdirection or counter, right? Everything's going right, including the ball, and then have the ball come back to the left.
They're going to have to go to that misdirection and go back to that wheel route or something. I mean, they're going to have to throw the football. They can't move the ball on the ground.
No.
So you're going to have to throw the football. I like the misdirection, going back to the wheel route or something, because he was wide open.
But the fact that they can't do anything, there it is.
There it is.
And intercepted for 6.
Wow.
So that's number 13, Ben Minnick.
And there's nobody going to get him.
So, what a nice break on the ball.
Yes.
He read it. He saw it. He made the break on the ball. The running back, the receiver, was just headed downfield thinking, oh, my gosh, I'm wide open again. And Ben Minnick steps up, steps in front of him, and from the minute he caught it around the 30-yard line, you knew it was a pick 6.
And I like it. They sent Hannah Duncan back in to add to her
so we're going to see this
night.
Same thing. He fakes out the side, tries to throw it.
But again, the pressure. I mean, he didn't even have time to look and find him. He just figured he was out there and threw it, and Minnick stepped up to make the play. But he was under pressure from get-go. I mean, the quarterback is under pressure before he even gets stopped.
So, and what that shows us is, right, if that ball is down in his zone, mm-hmm. Ben Minnick obviously has the hands, makes the catch, and certainly can do something with the ball after he catches it.
There's a good shot of him on the bench getting congratulations from his teammates as he made a great play. After the fumble had West Clermont in business, they come back with a pass on 3rd down that West takes care of and brings it back for pick 6, and looks like Hannah Duncan's going to be in for another kick.
She's going to a little bit longer kick, I believe. It looks like there's a penalty there on Lakota West. So I think she's going to have a additional 5 yards on this kick.
Is she a left-footed kicker?
Well, now it appears they're not.
Oh, they're waving it off.
So they've disregarded the flag. So not sure exactly what they're calling. It was either equipment or it was some sort of substitution type situation, but
they don't have a holder out there. I see the kicker, but I don't see a holder. There he comes.
You think they need Mitch Bolden out there for that?
They may. Bolden comes out to be the holder. They weren't there. And now Duncan's going to, she's right-footed. She's going to kick and, again, add on to her record to get 2 points. She got a pretty good leg, doesn't she?
Yeah, up and good. And So there we are with
That would have
6:03.
been good from the 5-yard penalty had they had that.
So with 6:03 to go here in the second quarter, it's West 35, West Clermont 0.
Good hold by Bolden, although he's a little tired, I'm sure, but after the sprint out there.
Had to run out there. Obviously, you see the
Thinking
coaching
the whole time, how am I going to explain this to my dad? How am I going to explain this to my dad?
You see the coaching staff congratulating the offensive line there.
Yes, as they should.
Now here's the one piece that I think Lakota West is probably a little bit disappointed in.
Yes.
Is they've allowed a couple nice kick returns.
They have.
Guys have overextended. Looks like we are going to see a different kickoff player than
And again, the
kicker this
signature
time.
of Bolden's teams when he was at Coleraine and out west is that he's got good special teams. So it's a little surprising to see the special teams falling down like they are.
So I think that gives them something to work on. So we'll see what
They'll
happens here.
definitely work on it. I imagine after watching this film, because there ain't going to be much else to watch other than offensive linemen completely blowing their guys off the ball. So, yeah, I mean, I think Tom, if he takes anything away from this, it's going to be special teams play was not where it was up to or where it should be for these guys. And so Tom will give them a little earful on that, make sure that they see where they're breaking down.
So the kicker is junior Tyler Bond, the left footer.
Oops.
Oh, he slips as he kicks it, and actually fairly effective.
Probably, yes, a lot more effective than the last couple.
Yeah, so what happened there, the kicker slipped as he kicked it, which made it into what you might call the squib kick.
Right.
Kicked it downfield. It was spinning in a lot of weird ways. The West Clermont player couldn't pick it up and then dove on it inside his own 30-yard line. So it looks
very
like they're
effective.
going to start about the 23-yard line. So I tell you,
Their
compared to the
worst
last two.
field position in the last 3 or 4 kickoffs.
So if you watch the kicker here, you see his
Down
plant
you go.
foot
He was safe, though.
slipped, and but it was
They
effective.
could get him to playing for Hamilton's Little League, who beat California yesterday. So they're in the championship of the Tom Seaver or Hank Aaron bracket or whatever. So they're only 2 or 3 games away from playing for the World Series, Little League World Series.
Well, congratulations to them. We'll see what happens here with West Clermont, see if they can figure anything out. They're going to hand the ball to the left side there, and it's
Nothing.
a tackle for a loss.
They keep coming. They open with that same play every. It seems like on first down they run Moats on a dive.
Well, that was Riley Woolbridge.
Well, okay, they were still running the dive, and
Right.
there's nothing there.
So, I mean, I'm guessing Moat said, hey, somebody else try this. Because
Yes.
he's not seeing much success there, 28, so they handed to 23, the sophomore, who's been involved. I mean, he's had several carries, but hasn't been able to get into the open field at all here. Just really nothing happening there. Again, as we talked earlier, I mean, you can see Lakota West, 9 guys inside the line of scrimmage.
Oh, there's a break.
There
yeah.
you go.
Found a crease.
Moats popped it up the middle.
Found a crease there. He kind of ran behind the defensive line and in front of the linebackers and found a little crease and got him first down.
So the clock will continue to run here with the first down.
I think that's the second first down that they've been able to get.
Yeah, they had the pass
Had
successfully.
the pass, and that's it. And then I think that one right there.
So that was a nice play. And, Malik Hartford, number 9, with another tackle. When you talk about tackles by safeties, that's good and bad. I mean,
You don't want
right,
safeties making tackles.
You certainly don't want them leading your team in tackles.
No, that's a bad problem. You want your linebackers leading in tackles.
So and another nice, run. I mean, not huge, but like 3 yards up the middle, which has been, for
Before
Moats.
he steals the ball and the helmet off the running back.
Yeah, there's Moats with the gain, but
But it was blown dead.
a 3-yard gain is a positive play right
For
now. for
West Clermont right now, 3 yards is a long way.
because it puts them
But
on
the problem
schedule.
is, Brent, they get 3 yards on first down, then they lose 2 on the next series, and you're in third and long.
So
They need to get positive here so they can at least go for it on fourth down and
So-
try and keep the drive alive.
and it looks like they're going to take I thought they might take their second timeout, but it looks like an official timeout. I don't know if somebody's it looks like equipment,
His helmet came off.
and he couldn't get it snapped back on properly, so the officials stopped the clock there with
Right.
3:54 to go in the first half here, 35-0.
I don't know if they have the same rule in high school that they have in the pros. If your helmet comes off, you have to come out. I don't know.
The nuance is when the defensive player grabbed it, pulled
Rips
it
it
off. There is an exception from that perspective. Here's Lucas back to throw. Quick pressure, nice throw
Nice
and catch.
play. Nice job. That's a good first down.
That's Bryson Early again, number 2, another sophomore. So on the positive side, they've had a couple of nice plays from
And I
sophomores.
think this is all they can do is throw the ball and find people. And that was a great job by Lucas because he was under a lot of pressure. And he was about ready to get hit, and he found Early out there and
Yeah.
makes a nice play.
Stepped up in the pocket.
Mhm.
A couple of the Lakota West players overextended, got behind him.
But I think they're going to move the pocket. They need to get Lucas outside the pocket so he can avoid some of this rush and just flood a zone or two, put 2 or 3 receivers out in the flat and see if you can hit one of them and get some positive yardage. Because the run's not there. So they're going to go in the inside reverse to Woodbridge, and again, nothing there. Elijah Davis is there and half the West defense.
And Woodbridge is not having much success between the tackles.
He's probably got 10 runs for maybe 9 yards.
They tried to shift that up a little bit and put some different guys out there to try to give it a little bit different look with a lead blocker, but same result.
Yeah, they're just trying to run a little misdirection, catch West, sort of like they did with Moats, where he got in behind the defensive line and before the linebacker could pick up some yardage. But West is having none of it. They're just dominating, and they're staying in their lanes. They're a well-coached football team, obviously, and the misdirection by Clermont's not doing anything for them, not faking them out at all.
So it's 2nd and 11 from the back to the 50-yard line. So back on their side of the midfield there. Obviously this is another second great opportunity, or maybe third, for West Clermont to make something happen here with 2:43 to go.
Maybe a screen or something, try and get them outside where they can get some one-on-one and maybe beat a guy and pick up some yardage, something other than running the ball between the tackles, because that ain't working for them.
We talked about this game, a couple years ago. When they ran the screen last time, Lakota West got too deep too fast. I almost think West Clermont just try to block them. West is still getting the penetration. And
that's what I'm saying. They're getting so much penetration that you got to throw some screen. You try another run that's not there as Moats can. Yeah. Moats is going to feel that in the morning. He's been hit more than anything.
Yeah, Aiden Miller, 23, finishes the play, but one of many people with their hands on the tackle there from Moats.
Yeah, Moats is going to be black and blue tomorrow because every time he touches the ball, he's getting hit by 3 or 4 Lakota West. So big guys. Afari makes a big hit there, too.
And, there was a pulling guard, 62. Afari took him on with his left hand.
I don't think I've ever watched.
Kept the end, right? Kept that end and when he cut inside him, got his right hand on the
But
tackle.
Have you ever seen a corner make as many tackles on a straight dive? I've never seen a corner make this many tackles. And Afari, that's got to be his 4th or 5th dive tackle.
And what's happened is there's no receiver out to that side of the field. So as the corner on that side, he's all the way down on the edge.
They want to start splitting one out just to keep him out of the play. Because he's being extremely effective in getting in there and making a play. They're crashing him down, and he's making the hit every time.
So timeout there for West Clermont with 3rd and 10 from the Lakota West 49-yard line.
You have to run halfback option or something. You got to do something here to take advantage of the flow, the speed, and the penetration of West. You got to slow it down somehow, and you got to do some trick plays. You got to throw some screens, behind all that. Bring somebody underneath. They tried it once, and was sniffed out by Aiden Miller.
They've tried the wheel route twice. Once he was wide open. The other one went 6 points the other direction. With a real nice play by Medminnick.
They got doubles. They got doubles here, so they got them split out here.
So they got 4 guys wide. See what happens here. Quick penetration from Lakota West. Lucas does a nice job of staying alive, but he's staying alive with his head down. He can't be looking at any receiver.
Well, he can't, because as soon as he evades one guy, 2 other guys are there. So he's trying. He's another one that's getting hit a lot, and there's just not. There's just such a big rush up the middle from these defensive linemen. Look at it; it just collapses immediately as 99 and 90 early get through, and 99 gets through, and they come back and still make the play.
Bo Beats 96 was right in there as well.
There's some good defensive linemen. I said that might be their weak spot. I don't see that here. These guys are just, bull rushing, and the quarterback doesn't even have 3 seconds to get rid of the ball.
So Lakota West takes a timeout. They're first of the half. It's actually 4th and 10.
So 2:25 left. So I guess he's trying to score here and just put this thing away. Plays JV in the second half, whatever you want to do, because 42-0. It's game over right now at 35-0. But
and remember, the challenge is when you're trying to get some guys out there in playing time. Once you're ahead by 30 or more, it's a running clock.
Right.
So that half will go quick. So, clearly anything more you want to try to get done now, you need to do in the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yes.
Because you want to get as many plays as you can for.
And they do need to work on the pass a little bit. Mitch Bolton has not been real sharp throwing the football today, or even last week. He had 2 interceptions. So maybe they, 2 minutes and 25 seconds, a little hurry up offense, maybe work on the pass a little bit and get him, you feel kind of bad throwing the ball with a 35-point lead, but you got to get Mitch, settled down throwing the football for later games coming up because not all of them are going to be this easy.
So they are lined up to punt, which makes sense inside their own territory here with 4th and 10 and 2 minutes to go. Snap bounces to him. He does get it off again. This is obviously not a great punt, but I mean, actually,
I don't know who's been under more pressure, Lucas, the quarterback, or the punter.
And you know what? He got the punt away, got it downfield.
But every time he punts it, he almost gets blocked. Almost.
I mean, had to play shortstop there, scoop it.
Yep.
And then was able to kick it downfield. I mean, he netted 20 yards.
He's been very fortunate not to have more of them blocked. They had the one, but that was just a mishandled snap, and then they're there. I mean, if it's not perfect on the snap, it's going to get blocked.
So what do you think we're going to see here from Lakota West? I mean, I think obviously they're
going to throw the football.
They're going to make this a situation, right? They're 1st and 10 from their own 30 with 2:08 to go. 2 timeouts, I believe, or no, I guess now they're out of timeouts.
They got double split, so I'm looking. Yeah, I think they're going to try and throw the ball and work on Mitch a little bit to get him, a little more confidence throwing the football.
So that's the final timeout for West Clermont. I think there was a little confusion earlier who was using some of those timeouts to keep the clock stopped. So, again, 2:08, up 35-0 at their own 30-yard line. Most of their offense has come from just normal running plays.
And that looked like it was going to be a pass play because Bolin was falling back, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him because I'm sure West Clermont's out there saying, okay, they're going to throw the football, get their DBs ready, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see a Cameron Goody right here.
Well, the tough thing for any team that plays against the Lakota West is even when Bolden drops back to pass, he's also the leading rusher from number of carries.
Although in this situation, normally close game, 2 minutes, people realize you're going to throw, so that's probably not going to, okay, they know we're going to throw, so what? That's going to happen. Let's go out and do it. I think they're going to work on him throwing the football, and there you go. Yeah, he's throwing it.
So double.
Didn't see anything.
It was double move there. Ball tipped when Bolden tried to roll left, throw it back to Jair Brown, number 1. I believe the ball's tipped here. So you see a couple double moves here with 10, Richardson.
He's under pressure a little bit. He steps up in the pocket, nothing there. So he runs. But nobody's there.
And good pressure. He had somebody chasing him, so he couldn't stop and throw it. And he had another guy ready there that I think jumped up and got his hands on it.
So there's no flag. You're waving him off, I think. So is he calling it first down?
No, I believe he's calling an unsportsmanlike.
Oh.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to have a 15-yard penalty, or it would be 15 yards because
yes,
that is half the distance. I was forgetting they were at the 30. But it looks like I think they called it an unsportsmanlike conduct, right? It looked like we saw the official with his hands out.
They did.
So
yeah, unsportsmanlike. So they're going to throw the ball down there.
So here's how you run the screen.
Wow, look at that. 2 guys out in front making blocks. Good crunch. Wow.
It's interesting here as he puts on the jets. And look at that blocking downfield.
Yes.
What outstanding blocking into the end zone.
Well, there you go.
They're going to throw a flag very late.
Yeah, I saw that come in there. That's going to be a disappointing foul, either a clipping or a holding or something.
Looked like somewhere around the 20-yard line, so it's probably going to be first down for there's one at the 40 also. So
a clip?
Looks like I'm guessing it's a hold. I thought it was a pretty good block, but he was sure holding that block for a long time.
Sure was.
And because it took so long to get there. But I mean, let's think about that. This play started at their own 25. They're throwing a flag around the 40 of the other team.
And Tom's, talking to number 10, Richardson.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely a receiver downfield. Illegal. So they have two plays. So we had a hold at the 41, and I think we had an illegal blindside block inside, further upfield, further toward the end zone. So obviously they took the one out here. So we're going to see this. I believe it's number 10 Richardson. They're going to get way downfield. But
downfield.
That's 35 yards down, 40 yards downfield.
But what a great run by Richardson. You had 19 out there making a good block. I mean, they're going to go back, throw. Oh, he was open.
Yeah, that's number 10 Richardson. So just barely overthrew him. He was.
Yeah, I thought he was there.
He was bracketed a little bit, right? So I'm
not
sure.
But Bolden put the ball where he needed to.
He put the ball on the money.
That was a well-thrown football.
That's why I'm just thinking that the receiver might have had a hard time picking it up.
Could be.
But you're right. He
put it. The only guy who can catch the football there was going to be Richardson.
So with 25 seconds to go, we've got the ball at the 50-yard line still. Second down, going to try to throw it out of bounds quickly to Jair Brown. So Jair is going to get about 6 yards out of bounds on the with it.
Brown not too happy with that tackle either. He felt he was out of bounds. And the whistle blown,
So
and still twisted his legs.
And here's the thing to remember: you're wondering about the clock. There's 5 seconds. The clock's running because they're up over 30 points.
Right.
So they may or they weren't able to get the play off.
No.
So unless they got a timeout, we'll just see real quick. And I think they were actually already out of timeouts.
Yep, that's it.
So that's going to be your halftime here. So from Firebird Stadium, Lakota West 35, West Clermont 0.
Short of a couple penalties, West did score their, got to feel good about that on the middle screen. Goody with a great run, a couple good blocks. Unfortunately, they were called back for a penalty, but, West did score. They just got some penalties. So, West kind of accomplished what they wanted to do with that series.
So we're now at halftime here from Firebird Stadium, Lakota West 35, West Clermont 0. Enjoy the band. Welcome back to Firebird Stadium for the start of the second half, where Lakota West leads West Clermont 35-0. I'm Brent Phelan, along with
Dan Zebrink.
and it was exactly what the score you would expect. The statistics. Dan, what did you spot in there?
Even the kicker's got the right number on his back. 35 points. 35 is kicking off for Lakota West. So I mean, as they put that there, but Brent, there's not much to say. We were looking at statistics. Just total domination everywhere for Lakota West. I mean, a net 30 yards out of 28 plays. The only thing that West Clermont leads in this thing is they've had 8 more plays, which surprises me a little bit because they've been unable to do anything with the football. And then West Clermont's, return yards. And here they're going to get another chance to open this up. And number 4, Early, is going to take the ball. And he is the guy that's been their offense at all. That's, anything positive has been return yards. And looks like they got that straightened out over the halftime, and I'm sure Tom had something to say to his, his kickoff team to make sure that didn't continue to happen. But the only weak spot so far.
Here you're going to see Sleep, number 4, with the return, gets it out past his own 20-yard line, but he did have 3 returns for 69 total yards, including a long of 31 yards in the first half. So that, like you mentioned, was
Cameron Sleep.
The one bright spot.
Early 22 has been the other one with 114 yards returning punts. And that's been their biggest part. 69 yards on returning kickoffs and 114 on returning punts is as good as they've – or actually punting.
Yeah, that's punting, and unfortunately it's on 5 punts.
Yeah, wow.
So here we go again, back to the basics. That's number 28, Moats, getting handed the ball by 12, Lucas, straight up the middle.
And they've given the ball to Moats, a lot, and has had very little return. Moats has had 9 attempts for 21 yards, and Woodward's had 6 attempts for 0 yards. So Moats is at least picking up a little bit of positive yards, but not much. He's handled the ball 9 or 10 times now and just not been able to do anything.
And we saw this several times in the first half, right? First play, 3 yards, okay. But then unfortunately,
after that, they go backwards.
And there you go again. They put the ball on the floor or on the ground. The quarterback, Lucas, falls on it. He and the center, 77, having another discussion. That's 3 or 4, I think, they've put on the ground. See if we can tell. The under center.
Just never got up.
Yeah, see if we can get a good look.
You can see
there.
right here, it just never gets up to his hands. He never actually had the ball.
So here we go. From 2nd and 7 to 3rd and 8. And I don't, they've had, success with 1 pass play. They've had, 1 okay run. But, I mean, let's be honest, 28 plays, 30 total yards.
Right. I mean,
on a net
1.1 yard per play.
So,
and that's pretty much, that's what I would say. If someone said, hey, how'd the game go? I would go, Clermont's, offense against West defense is 1.1 yard per play. You're going to win pretty much most of those games. If that's, West Clermont's not going to win a lot of football games getting 1.1 yard per play.
So it's interesting here. So it's a running clock because they're more than 30 points ahead. They actually even did that in the end of the first half, and then Lakota West took 3 timeouts.
And I personally think they're having trouble on offense because of them helmets.
That could
if they
be
didn't have those Michigan helmets, they'd probably be a much better offensive team than they are.
But what was interesting, Lakota West took 3 timeouts to try to get that touchdown in before the half.
That's right.
And then West Clermont, when West got the ball, took a timeout.
Right.
So even though they asked and had a running clock going, so a little maybe gamesmanship there or frustration. We'll see what happens here. So that's why, if you wonder, there are 2 plays into the half, and it's already 9:54 to go. We're already over 2 minutes into the half.
Right.
That's because it is a running clock under the OHSAA mercy rule.
Wow, OHSAA. What is all that, Brent?
I do. The Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Okay, good. That's very good.
So it looks like Lakota West still has starters on the field on defense, and it looks like starters on the field for West Claremont's offense.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll play maybe a series.
And there's a interception.
Yep.
I believe that's Josh Fusell. Yes, that's Josh.
Fusell.
Josh has made a couple nice plays defensively. If you recall, he did get sucked in on one of those kickoffs and was told about it. So certainly there feels pretty good. The Lucas is, he's done a decent job here of evading the first steps up, extends the play, but just threw that one up.
Bryson Early, the intended receiver, I think, on that play made a nice tackle and held on to him.
Of course, he was there amongst 3 defenders.
Yes.
and 3 very athletic defenders. So here we'll see it again. But he just kind of stepped up, threw the ball. I mean, what do you do, right? It's 3rd and 8. You got no points. You're trying to make something happen.
Overthrew it. But again, under pressure, I mean, almost as good as a punt.
So Lakota West, 1st and 10 from the West Clermont 47-yard line. We see Bolden still under center, hands right to Goody.
And Goody's been a force tonight. I mean, I don't know what was his average.
He had 99 yards. You might check that, see exactly how many carries, but it was 99 yards for him in the first half, rushing, and I think 45 on that screen. Here's the run, just nice blocking again. Cifuentes, you see there, with a nice block. We didn't mention his name, 55. Wanted in the first half. Wanted to make sure we got a proper pronunciation. I was told it was Cifuentes by Scott Fetzer, who professed to know his father. So
yeah, eight rushes for 99 yards. So nice average, 3 touchdowns and a long run of 24.
So the old Wildcat to Alex Afari, and he breaks into the open field.
He just throws down a would-be tackler.
Yeah, steps out of bounds around the 10-yard line. So, he went to, took the direct snap from the quarterback. And when you have a 6'3", 200-pound athlete like Alex Afari, I think I'm not sure you can do some things.
I'm not sure why they're pulling that out. It's just, Tom showing some film, so somebody just wants to, kind of get ready for that or make them spend some practice time on. I'm not sure why at this point, 35-0, you break out the Wildcat to Afari. Good play.
The challenge was in the first half, they were pretty vanilla running the ball, and they're up 35 points.
Well, when you're getting, the carries that Goody was getting, 8 carries for 100 yards, why not?
I think here we go. Bolden throwing the ball. Oh, nice catch by Jair Hollywood Brown.
So there's another one of your two-way players. Brown and Afari both play start at cornerbacks. Number one, the old 1-2 punch, right?
We'll see that again. Was the ball tipped, but yet he still was able to.
It was tipped to me.
Yeah, he still made the catch. We'll see this here.
So very good concentration, but it looks like Bolden's pass was tipped a little bit.
So just quick
play
fake,
action,
throws it. There's the tip.
It was tipped.
And still, nice inside position. Jair Brown has a defensive back, made a nice job of keeping inside leverage on his defender. And the ball kept true. I guess Mitch threw it hard enough that even threw it through the defender to the.
Yeah, Deshaun Benson on the coverage wasn't able to cover that as
Bond again.
Bond comes in, 35, knocks one through.
The left footer once again, the junior. So that quick, 7:47 to go here in the third quarter. It's now West 42, West Clermont 0 after one possession each.
So Spatafor and the kickers are racking up some points here, 7 points.
And impressive the number of players who have kicked for points and have also kicked off. We've had 2 kickoffs as well.
And they also, I don't know again who, if that was Tom made the call to bring in the girl to set a record center. Hannah Duncan comes in and kicks 2 extra points and has the first female points for Lakota in the history of Lakota. Puts 2 points on the board for West and extra points, and have to shake Joe Spatafora's hand, the kicking coach, for getting that done.
Good for Lakota. Again, a nice start, right? The successful defensive series, and then obviously capped with the pickoff on third down, and then 2 plays and in the end zone.
Yeah, again, this is going to look good for the people. I don't know how much this helps in the playoff picture when you beat somebody that's bad. I don't think it matters. I think it all comes down in the Harbin ratings comes to how many games that West Clermont goes on to win, and they may do well in their division. Like they did last year, they won 3 or 4 games,
and they won 3 in the Eastern Cincinnati Conference.
Right, and they may very well do that again this year. They look like a little better football team than they were last year. Just nowhere near up to Lakota West standards right now. And there's nothing bad against them. Nothing to say bad. It's just the size of the high school and the athletes that go to those schools. West just has way more athletes.
So a nice kick then again from Bond, and he kicked it almost right around the 1-yard line, which
Didn't fall down.
Yeah, returned out just to the 20, or 21-yard line. So good kick, solid return from West Clermont, and a nice tackle there from number 57 for Lakota. And as I look, I don't see. Yeah, we don't have one on this roster, so.
He will go. He who unnamed. He has a number but no name.
So still looks like Lucas still under center here. Do not see Moat out there, so maybe we'll get a little bit of a different look here from West Clermont.
Bruised and beaten up a little bit.
definitely might be a little bit frustrated. That's Caden Sampson, number 3, with a nice little burst.
Nice for nothing different, and they've got in number 28, right, for West Clermont.
Oh, and he looks injured on his first carry.
Who is it for? It can't be Sean. I don't know who that is for. Is it 26 maybe?
Which one's that?
They're back.
28 Moats has been most of the time. That was
Right,
number 3.
No, who got the ball, but who lined up in the backfield in Moats' position looked like
23.
23 maybe.
Yeah, Woodridge.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Woodbridge.
Woodridge.
I don't think it was him. Bigger kid.
Okay, and Woodridge is normally lining up on the wing.
Right.
So we'll see here with
you see Moats in your upper left-hand corner stand there, so he is out of the game.
So we'll see here with a little bit of an injury break. And, a nice 6-yard burst there from Sampson with his first carry, and unfortunately, looks like he's injured. So with 6:37 to go here, we've got a timeout on Dan, so what do you try to do if you're West Clermont?
Run your offense, try and get better. I mean, there's nothing, you're not going to do anything. If you drop back and start throwing the ball, you're not going to lengthen the game because, it's a running clock.
So my son Sanders, 26, is the lead blocker there, Dan. You're asking about 23.
Woodridge
was the other leader, and boy, he went down, but the Lakota West defender is right on top of him. So you'll see it here, all that weight right on top of.
Boy, Sanders is a big kid. He's a sophomore. So I guess that's the heir apparent to the running position. Is only a sophomore. He'll be a junior next year when Moat graduates. And looks like a pretty big kid.
And they've had. They're indicating perhaps dislocated shoulder, collarbone, clavicle. Looked like he was, his shoulders were sideways when somebody landed on him.
Yeah, and that happens all the time. Collarbone, shoulder separation. I mean, that's a pretty common football injury.
Let's hope not for the senior there here on only the second game of the season, and after the challenge they had last year, only getting 8 games in because of the COVID restrictions. So here we go, 2nd and 4. One of the few times they've been there, and here's the guy you were just talking about, Dan, right up the middle.
Sanders looks like a good runner. Yeah, that was a good run.
So nice run by number 26, Myson Sanders, the sophomore.
Yeah, he's a big kid for. That's a lot to bring down.
And he, advances it for a first down out to the 35-yard line.
I thought it looks like a 28. Somehow his 6 kind of comes down, looks like 28. I'm like, that's not Moats.
So first down, but now we have a Lakota West player injured on the field.
And here's if you're both coaches what you want to avoid. I mean, at this point, the game's over. You don't want to see anybody getting hurt or losing a player for the season at this point in the game. The game is over. Good time to get your JV into the game, and you don't want to.
We're going to see a replay here, see if we can find out what happened. But you'll see the player is way up on top. There we're going to see him
right there. Kind of falls a little weird.
Yeah, and then
people fall on top of him.
2 guys laying on top of him at the end of the play. So certainly that might have been. It looks like they're looking at his knee.
Yeah, he got up and walked off.
But he's walking off, so hopefully that's nothing too significant. And here we go again. It's 1st and 10 for West Clermont with 6:16 to go. Hey, 2 plays and a first down.
That was Rafi Herrera who was injured on that play. It looks like he walked off on his own power, so that's a good sign.
So here we go.
Sanders still in the setback. Lucas at quarterback still.
There you go. Woodridge around the left side. Nice gain.
Yeah, he's able to pick up some yards. He had about 6 carries for 0 yards in the first half, so good to see him get up, some yardage. And I think, what you're going to see here, Brent, is just people running everything and just trying to run the clock out without getting hurt.
And we're seeing a lot of new, fresh numbers on the field for Lakota West. We'll try to point out some of those guys, but sophomore runs it this way. Number 11 for Lakota West, Jacob Aspect. I
think that's one of those new numbers right there. He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomores out there. You'll notice a number of new players. Bukari Miles, 17. We'll see him near point on the screen here. We'll try to point him out as they make some plays here.
Barrett, number 39, back in at linebacker.
There you go. Sanders again up the middle. They're going to bring this one back for a hold, but another nice run by Sanders.
Another tackle there by Jacob Ashback. So he's making hay as he gets out there.
So nice to see, and that's the challenge, right, with the running clock is you need to get these subs in early because there's not a lot of plays that happen in a game with a running clock.
And we're already down at 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go till the third quarter ends and it just keeps running and just get, like you said, and you're just trying to get not anybody hurt.
Yep, there's 31. Amon-Ra Mays just ran back in the field, another sophomore. So there's a theme here. I see number 50, and that's Aaron Kayo.
But right now, I think you got West Clermont's, basically their starters against the JV for West, and West is hanging in there.
Well, you know what? But the running back's the sophomore. That's not, they've got him out. So there's a little bit of a different look here.
Yeah, I can't tell from the offensive line, but it's the same
but
group.
a couple sophomores, carrying the ball this half. But really it looks like feature Sanders, and he shows why. Now, again, he is running the ball on Lakota West's defense or second string. But that being said, I don't think that Coach Bolden will find that acceptable.
No, and Josh Ashbrook again comes up, number 11 comes up with the tackle again. So his third since he's been in there.
We saw
he's
there,
safety, doing a good job.
A couple players there for Lakota West ran right through that play and didn't make a play. And again, not probably or definitely what Coach Bolden's looking for. So 3rd and 2. See what happens here. They're going to run Sanders again to the left. He's able to cut it back for the first down. Still on his feet, still pushing.
So West Clermont able to pick up their second or third pick or first down of this half, which they had 2 in the entire first half. So
yeah, I saw Brandon Holder, number 30, blocking there at the end of the play for West Clermont. So nice to see from their perspective. I do still see 77.
Their starting
the starting center is still in the game, Matt Botts.
The starting offensive line is still in the game for West Clermont. And this is a JV linebacking core and defensive line, and it looks like the corners and safeties are all replacements. So,
yeah, so a good opportunity for them here. But 1st and 10, just over midfield. There's that same kind of inside reverse they used to call it. Gains almost looks like 8 yards on the play. That's number 2, so that's Bryson Early. And we saw Bryson again, another sophomore. We did see him in the first half with the starters.
And my guess is that would be Landon Early's brother, who is a junior. So you got 2 kids. I hate to have to feed that group. A sophomore and a junior football player. I'm sure they can put away the groceries.
So here's 2nd and 2 from the Lakota West 41-yard line. You can see Coach Bolden there, not very happy right now with his defense.
Trying to protect that goose egg, although even if they score, it remains a running clock because they'll still be up by more than 30.
So back to pass. It was a nice play. A solid throw, overthrown by just a bit. But
good coverage here by, I'll tell you what, number 11 showing some stuff here. I mean,
looked like 17 also for Lakota West in on that, Bukari Miles.
Yeah, Jacob Ashbeck is doing something. He's covering passes, making tackles. He's definitely getting on the film that the coaches are going to see and, remember his name.
So that was Lucas throwing the ball to Holder. Incomplete, overthrown by just a bit, but like you mentioned, some good coverage from Lakota West. 3rd and 2 from the 41-yard line, so we'll see if they go back to Sanders up the middle.
Yeah.
He's had some success there. You'd like to think if you're West Clermont, that he might be able to pound out this first down.
Probably boundary run, yeah.
Right up the middle, and it looks like he's going to look at that. I mean, pushes forward for the first down, gains almost 5 yards. Maybe we'll see the spot, but yeah, it looks like 5 yards. So Sanders has single-handedly this half had more offense than they had in the entire first half.
Looks like Tyler Shipman, number 28, comes up, makes that play for Westford.
So you see the line, some good, some players getting helmets on helmets. That was Andrew Sandifer, number 69, with a nice block there. You see 74, Nick Henning, still pushing at the end of the play. That's 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. There goes Woodridge back. He gets the handoff around the outside, and look at that. So compared to the first half where he was trying to run the ball and couldn't get to the line of scrimmage before Afari or somebody crashed down on him, he actually was able to get past the line of scrimmage there before there was a Lakota West defender. Allows him to advance it for almost 7 yards.
Well, again, this is West Clermont's varsity team playing the JV team of Lakota West, and they're getting some yardage. I mean, they're as they should. Early goes off, and there goes Woodbridge off the field. A little shaken up, it looks like.
Coming back out on the field is Zach Motes, 28. I guess he wants to maybe get in a little bit of this.
Yeah, he's tired of getting beat up. As Aaron Kao, number 50, is playing linebacker for West.
So here they come around the outside. Nice play.
That was a great play by 53.
Yeah, that's Ebony Curry. Made a nice play. A 6'2", 180-pound junior linebacker for Lakota West. made a nice play as we end the third quarter. So after 3 quarters from Firebird Field here at Lakota West, it is Lakota West 42 and West Clermont 0. So Dan, what do you think here? I mean, we're seeing a little bit from West Clermont. I get it, starters or maybe a little bit of at least starting line with some substitute
running
skill.
backs are the same, other than Moats, and they substitute Sanders, which seems like a pretty good substitution because that Sanders is a big, strong kid. I mean, he can run the football. He's going to be a good back as time goes on. Although Moats, their workhorse, looks like he's back in the game. He wants to get some of that positive yardage too, I think.
And the thing is, we're seeing a lot of underclassmen. So even the couple of the sophomores that were in the first half as starters are still in there. So other than 12 Lucas, the senior quarterback, we are seeing, perhaps some of the future for West Clermont.
Yes, I think you are. And they have a lot of juniors and sophomores starting too. So, I mean, I think they're just going to get better as time goes on. The program seems to be, they were in the, playoffs last year. Like you said, everybody was in the playoffs last year. But they seem to be a little better. I think I agree with the statement that the coaches from Weston said they're a little better football team than they were last year. And if they get a little better every year, then they're going to become a team you have to reckon with in their conference. And, coming out and playing, getting teams like Hamilton and West to open the season, I mean, 2 GMC traditional powerhouses, that's going to get you ready for your own conference, and your own conference will look pretty easy. So
there's Sanders again up the middle. Another, not much there on 3rd and 8, but a hard run. And he gained 2, so we're going to be 4th and 6 or 7.
I'm guessing they're going to go for it.
Sure. I mean, here inside the 35-yard line of Lakota West, see what they can do, see what Lakota West can do to try to stiffen up here a little bit. I mean, I see number 97, Manny Boki in the middle also for Lakota West. Was involved in that play, so we'll see what happens here. Lucas is going to roll right. You saw number 7, it looked like, did a double move and,
going for the touchdown.
Yeah,
they're going to call they're going to call pass interference here, but it looks like pretty good coverage to me.
Yeah, Amon Ra Mays was running stride for stride with the receiver down the sideline. Actually, might have even been out of the sideline, but I think we're going to get just a little too much contact on 4th down, so that's going to end up with a first down.
I'm a little surprised you're calling that, Brent, because it looked like he's running stride for stride. He's got just as much chance to the ball as anybody.
It looked like he kind of rode him out of bounds. Well, I think that's what they're calling. You can't take away his right to move forward.
No.
You can't take a charge or anything like that, and on the sideline there.
Pretty good physical play for me from the corner. I guess
we'll get a better look here. Yeah. You're going to see 7, a double move, faked in, went out, and then looped it back up the sideline.
He was close to being over the line of scrimmage, but he drew it before that. But, yeah, that looks like good coverage.
Well, the receiver tried to which is interesting. The receiver tried to come back for the ball, even though the ball was over his head. Right. And when he did, he was kept from coming back.
Right.
Although,
but he has it right to the field.
Yeah, but you can't impede his ability to get there.
I just hate.
I think we got
all these.
Yeah. So that's another another nice run. Gained about 6 or 7 to the left side. Looks like there's a hold there on the point. They did not call. Coach Bolden, he's calling it.
Yeah. That doesn't matter. He doesn't get any flags.
You're going to see this out here on the left side. As they're there, that kind of looks like that might be a hold on 53.
Yeah, he's got a hold of his shoulder pads and pulls him to the ground. That's definitely a hold.
It's a little challenging to make a play when somebody's got his hands on each side of you and is holding on. But
your shoulder pads and pulls you down.
Yeah, that's makes it challenging. But I guess that's just a little extra work. So 2nd and 3 here for West Clermont, 10-yard line. I mean they are pushing, try to score there. Sanders right up the middle. Touchdown. And he actually made a nice play, ran over a Lakota West player at the goal line. Into the end zone.
He's hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I think he is. That was a pretty hard collision there at the goal line.
Gives him something to think about, though. I mean,
we're going to see that again, but just Sanders right up the middle. We'll see what happens there. You're going to see a double team between 77 and 74. The West linebacker then also went the wrong way. 50 went around to the play, left a big hole there for Sanders right up the middle, and he was able to take advantage of it. So,
Ashbeck can bounce on, but he's only 5'11", 170 pounds. And I'm telling you right now, Sanders is a good 230.
He looks like a pretty big sophomore.
He's not far off of being a guard.
So here we go. Emmanuel Berry. We haven't seen him much. We saw the opening kickoff, and now he's getting a shot at an extra point and kicks it through. So with 9:24 to go here in the fourth quarter, it's Lakota West.
Yeah, Clermont's a little happy over there.
Yeah, 42-7. I mean, they're on the board. You know, as you said, what do you do when you're down 42-0? Well, you try to do your thing.
Yeah.
They did bring in some of the younger guys, mixed them with some of the older. You know, it was a hybrid. It wasn't all their backups going against what looked to be all Lakota West backups.
Yeah, West was 100% JV. It looked like.
But if we remember last year in the playoffs, West Clermont couldn't do anything even against Lakota West backups. So, I mean, this maybe sounds backhanded compliment, but, I mean, right, that's an improvement.
It is.
I mean, you know, maybe their guys aren't, you know, they're clearly not anywhere close to Lakota West starting level, but maybe they're, you know, a little bit closer.
A little bit.
They've got some guys that, could be competitive there, and let's be honest, they're not going to see teams like Lakota West and
even Hamilton. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you start out with 2 GMC. I mean, you know, gosh. I think I'd have to go talk to the scheduler about that and go, what are you doing to me here? I mean, open up with Hamilton and then come back and play Lakota West. That's tough.
Well, the way it's set up, though, with, you know, so many teams make the playoffs, I mean, you can make the playoffs if you can be successful in
win one of those games.
Your conference also.
Yes.
Now, what this also tells us is Hamilton was in a dogfight with these guys last week.
Right.
And Lakota West, you know, I mean, West Clermont's not even in the game. So that definitely, probably bodes well for Lakota West when they, versus Hamilton.
Moved up to number 10 in the city this year after that, by beating West Clermont. So they're, East dropped out by getting beat out of the top 10 and replaced by Hamilton and Mason, moved up into the top 10. So GMC is always really good football. So see what happens here. Barry gets a chance to kick. They're offsides. And one of the weird nuances for high school here, right when they're offsides, that's an immediate legal procedure play on the kicking team, and you're going to kick it from 5 yards back. So not even an option for the team to return it, see what happens. Right. It's a dead ball and kick again. So everybody, they'll move back 5. Lakota West front guys will move up 5. Well, everybody trying to make it so much safer for these special teams and kickoffs. So blowing stuff dead and moving the ball up so you can't return it and all kinds of stuff. If the ball goes into the end zone at all, it's a touchback automatically. You don't even have a chance to run it out. So we're going to see Lakota West with their return men around the 15-yard line, so likely to get excellent field position after this kickoff. I'm not sure I'd kick it to anybody right now. We'll see Barry does, as you said, kind of tries to squib it, but picked up on a hop inside the 20, but he's already out past the 35-yard line. And that's Richardson. And there's a pretty excited Clermont guy. Did you see that guy over there? Yeah, wow. He was pretty excited. Looks like, first and 10 around the, outside the 35-yard line, around the 36. So number 17, Zach Smith. So a senior just showing some great excitement. So, yeah, I don't know if we can see something happen out here. It wasn't what the kicker meant to do. As you see Barry throw his hands up after he kicked it. There's Richardson with the run. Actually, nice little cut by Richardson and, taken down by a host of guys, a couple guys. The guy's actually holding both the West guy and the tackler's leg. Yes. So that was kind of an interesting tackle. But see what happens here for Lakota West. I'd like to see 17 for West Clermont getting a ball game. So obviously we see some different players out there on offense as well. Nice cutback from 26. That's Giovante Wilson. He may go all the way. He pushed out of bounds by number 4. And if you remember, I don't know that we saw number 4, Cameron Sleet, on the defense for West Clermont in the first half, but he did make a couple nice returns on the kickoff. Yes. So he was on the field. Obviously, return man, quick runner, but speed because he was able to get him. But a nice really nice cutback. Yeah, watch this. So there's Wilson going right. And then not much back, there, and the lane and cuts back again against the flow, and boom, gone. And once he gets there, he gets it, gets pushed down inside the 10-yard line. So, really nice run for Wilson. Wilson gets the ball again, right up the middle. So, second play. I think you got to give him the ball again. You got to get him in the end zone. I mean, he's the guy that got it down there. So, you got to try and give him the ball to get in the end zone from now on. That's good. There's the cut for the replay. And man, just got some good wheels, don't he? So 15, the quarterback right now for Lakota West is Nolan Parker. Sleet had the little bit of angle, yeah. Really nice run. So here we go, second and goal from the 4-yard line. As you said, they give it to Wilson again. Nothing there. Thrown down by a host of West Clermont players. Number 60 was heavily involved. Corey Henson, a senior.
heavily involved in that tackle. So we're now sitting here with 3rd and 7 or 8.
Quarterback is a sophomore, Nolan Parker.
Yeah, so 3rd and 8 or 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. So we'll see what Lakota West tries to do here with the second group.
You'll let Parker, your sophomore, throw the football here?
It'll be interesting to see what you do. I mean, you're 3rd and 8. I think you're trying to get the second group an opportunity to make some plays. I see 75 Alex Key out there on the line. I see 48 Luca Gilbert out there at the end. Try to make sure we spot who's out there in front of Parker. Parker is back to throw. Out, steps away from a guy, keeps his feet, and thrown down again at the 10-yard line. So we're 4th and goal for Lakota West from the 10-yard line.
I'm pretty sure they'll go for it. You think they'll kick here? You bring in Hannah Duncan and let her get a field goal?
Only because they want to see her kick a field goal, right? I mean, to see the kicker, right? Just to work on something a little bit different. So she's out there.
Hannah Duncan's going to come in.
We're going to see this play again. So Parker steps back. And boy, somebody came in untouched. He avoided the first guy, but not the second guy. 22 and 24. Landon Early, you mentioned earlier, and Connor Pruitt were in there.
Giovanni needs to work on his blocking a little bit. He stood there a little bit too much. He needs to find somebody to put a shoulder. He's a good runner, but you're also going to have to block. Be that complete player. He was standing there a little too much. And
so Aaron Peters, number 6, will hold for Hannah. It looks like we're missing a blocker. That'll be a timeout for Lakota West. So Hannah Duncan is going to attempt a 27-yard field goal with 5:37 to go here in the 4th quarter, and Lakota West up 42-7 over the West Clermont Wolves.
This is so cool to see this, though. I mean, this Tom's not, he's a little upset with them.
Yeah, they looked like they were short a player on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they were.
So certainly that's not what you want to do when you're trying to kick the ball.
He came jogging in with not enough time to get it off, so they called the timeout.
And 19, Drew Minnick ran out there. Not saying it's necessarily Drew Minnick's fault, but he was the last guy running out there.
And he didn't really go out a full sprint, did he?
Well, I think he's a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore quarterback. But it looks like they sent him in there maybe in an end type position, and not sure if there was somebody else supposed to be out there, and he ran out there to fill in. Looks like he might be.
Looks like he got 11 out there now, so it's all good.
So he's going to line up at the right end here. So we'll see what happens. Again, Peters with the hold, Aaron Peters and Hannah Duncan
showed some leg. I mean, that last extra point would have been easily good from here, so she's got the leg to get there.
Snap, Peters
That's good,
and Peters made a nice hold. Right, the ball looked like it was a little away from him.
Yep.
He was able to grab it, get it back down, and Duncan, no worries. She waited for him to get the ball down and banged it right through
to give West a 45-7 lead. But good to see that Hannah Duncan got in there kicking and get a chance to get setting records with everything she does.
So nice to see there. 5:30 to go here, still in the 4th quarter from Firebird Stadium. And I guess we'll see. I'm assuming probably the same group. You think we might see a third string or a third group on offense or defense? Or
I don't know what to tell you at that point.
You think we're still going to keep the second groups out there? But it was nice to see that Lakota West had some success there. Although
Hannah Duncan getting some much-deserved congratulations for being the first female kicker to score a field goal for Lakota West, and that's great to see.
So
a lot of depth at the kicker position.
So that is funny, right? That is not something you normally hear.
No.
That a team has depth at kicker.
They got 3 good kickers that could probably play anywhere else.
So we'll see the kickoff here, and the return guys for West Clermont lining up around the 10-yard line. So we'll see what's happened. Tyler Bond, the lefty, has had a couple pretty solid kicks. So we'll see. Are we checking to make sure they have the right number of players on the field again? And in fairness, and I mean I know Coach Bolden won't have use it as an excuse, but I'm sure there's some people out here now who aren't normally out here.
Right.
And you're trying to get some people out there, and some people maybe already got in somewhere, so they're talking to a coach, and they're not out there for special teams and some of the other things, because what we found, there's the return from about the 12-yard line. There's number 4. He's had a lot. Yeah, he had the 2 really nice returns in the first half. Another nice return for him. That's Cameron Sleet, so he's made some plays. He's a senior, so he has made a couple plays there. That's nice to see.
I think life is going to get a lot better.
We're going to see
West
this again.
Clermont, as you can see the kick here, but Brad, I think life's going to get a lot easier. You get out of the GMC and then you get into their their season against the teams in their conference, and it's going to be a lot easier than playing West, I think.
So,
I mean, they're playing a number 2 team and number 10 team in the cities to open up the season. So it can't get anything but better, I mean, it's got to be easier.
so 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line with 4:48 to go. Clock running again. Lakota West still up by 38 points. See what happens here. Still Lucas at quarterback, number 12. Run the ball straight up the middle there. We'll check that number for us. Yeah, it looked like Moats again. So like you said, I think Moats was a little chagrined in the first half because going against the starters for Lakota West, he didn't have much fun.
No,
I think after he saw Sanders with a couple really nice runs, as you said, he wanted a shot to get some carries against the Lakota West backup.
Oh, is 98
defense.
a starter for West? I mean, he's in the game. Herrera? He was in.
I don't think he started. 99 Henderson was out there. 90,
That's right.
90 Davis. But he certainly made a couple plays now here in the second half. So second down and about 4. Number 2 is going to take it around the end, and definitely first down and more is going to gain about 12 yards. He's going to be 1st and 10 for West Clermont at the 46-yard line. Clock continues to run because of the mercy roll at 3:40.
Yeah, this second half's been pretty quick, hasn't it?
It sure is. We're going to see this. You're going to see number 2, Bryson Early. Bryson Early's made a couple of really nice plays.
Yes.
A couple of nice blocks there. We see Woodridge made a nice block, 23. He's been in the game, but he is a sophomore for quite a while. It was at 11 again for Lakota West with the involved in tackle. He is definitely around the ball. I mean, that's great to see.
Ashbeck has been everywhere.
So here we go. A little bit of a false start on West Clermont. The right side of the line moved a little bit early, and actually it looked like several guys, so perhaps the center might have some culpability there.
No pun intended. Was number 2 early that moved early?
We'll see. Didn't quite catch it. It does look like there's some backups here. 77, the center for most of the game, is not there anymore. We'll check that. You're going to see toward the top of your screen, we're going to see a couple of these guys move. You see the wideout and the end. Yeah. So, yeah. 2 guys moved early, but they were the end guys, so may not be anything to do with the center being late. Everybody on the interior lines stayed set. Here they come around the outside. That's Woodridge running the ball around the right side, and looks like he got back to the original line of scrimmage, so a gain of about 5, maybe 6, where they're going to spot it. So 2nd and 9. Again, 2:22, and I just point that out because that clock you'll see in the corner is running pretty rapidly. It doesn't matter if there's a first down or out of bounds. They keep that clock moving. We'll see what we have here again. Right to the line of scrimmage with Lucas. I mean, I think they would love to try to get the ball across the field a little bit more and see if they could maybe even put another score in. It's going to be hard with only 2 minutes to go. I mean, you probably only have 4 or 5 plays. Oh, they put the ball on the ground. Number 2.
Reverse, man. Look at it, might have worked. It took a while for the West.
Look at Bryson.
Here he comes.
Wow. I mean, Bryson early. That was a nice effort. He, they dropped the ball in that reverse. Looked like he broke into the open. Then he picked it up again. Was tackled and.
Well, it looked like it was going to work. I mean, even with all the with the fumble and everything, it took a while for West to react to that.
So here's the sophomore.
All flow went to the right, and they come back left quick.
Yeah, never got the ball into his hands. It was the handoff from the other back was a little bit high into his shoulder pads.
And there was Ashbeck again.
But a nice job keeping a handle on, or his head about him. Amonri Mays, 31, involved in the tackle. So pretty good play there. That gives us a 3rd and 6 from the 49-yard line. They're just barely in their own territory.
Good play by Early to keep his head about him and pick the ball up and get some yardage out of that.
The clock continues to run. We'll see if West Clermont can make something happen here. Lucas back, just hands off right to middle. That's Moats. Just keeps his feet still on his feet. Takes the ball inside the 40-yard line of Lakota West.
Asbook's going to come off the bottom of that pound. Another Jacob Asbook's everywhere, the safety. But that was by far Moats' best run.
Yeah, and and it's. I mean, I guess I get it. You want a lot. He had terrible statistics in the first half. You want to give him some opportunity to have some successes. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure you bring your starting running back in against the backup in order to make his statistics look better, because frankly, that's what it would look like for me.
Yes. I mean, if you come and see it will definitely help his statistics for league and type stuff. And, I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he ran the ball a lot. He just got nothing against the first team of Lakota West defense.
He's got nothing. There he is running the ball again. And in spite of going against the second group, he actually is thrown for a loss. That's
Manny Boyka.
Boyka, 7. Boyka. Nice tackle for loss. He's back to the we'll see where they spot it, but that's it.
That's the
Clock
game.
is going to expire, and so, wow, from Firebird Stadium.
First home game is solid game for Lakota West as they win 45-7.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.